Good afternoon, finance class, and welcome to the course. I'm glad that I can actually do just a very brief video chat with you, and I'm doing that through Webcast-O-Matic. If you're not familiar with that and you're interested in learning a little bit about it, it's something that you can use with your own students in class to do announcements or just another way to do multimedia instead of always talking to them in person, or even communicating with parents. Instead of doing it via email, it's kind of nice to do a web-based or video-based note to folks. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about Webcast-O-Matic, there's certainly tutorials online that probably would do a much better job than I would, but I would be happy to conduct a brief webinar with you in order that you can learn a little bit more about it. The reason for my brief Webcast-O-Matic video today is to remind you that right up here it says that today is the due date for discussion question number 1, DQ1. It is August 31st. I know, it's unbelievable. And there are still about 6 or 7 of you that have not posted your initial discussion post for DQ number 1. Those are due at midnight, and you lose points off of the 5 points possible. The maximum points possible that you can earn are 5 points, and those are not a given. Unlike what some students sometimes tell me, I've always earned 5 points for my discussion post, and I try to remind students that just because that's what happened in the past doesn't mean that's what's going to happen in this class. And the reason for that is this: I actually really read every single thing that you write. And I give you specific feedback as I can possibly do. So if you haven't answered the question, or sometimes questions, in detail or in a way that it is written so that we can read it, so make sure you're checking your spelling, your grammar, your punctuation, because as a school leader, your writing matters. And you'll probably hear me say this umpteen bajillion times. I know that's not really a number, but that's probably how many times you'll hear me say, we are what we write, and your writing really does matter. So you want to make sure that you get your DQ number 1 posted by tonight at midnight. And then also I wanted to talk very briefly about the notion of substantive posts. I just want to show you right here. I'm going to use Rachel as an example. You notice all of these people so far that posted got 5 out of 5 points on their discussion question number 1. Rachel has a trophy next to her name, and the reason for that is that she got a substantive post because she posted in response to Daniel's initial DQ. What do those substantive posts mean, or those trophies mean? If you're not familiar with those, you need to have 3 days, at least 3 days throughout the week, on which you post substantive posts. You can post 18 in one day, and it's not going to help you, because the goal, GCU's goal, is for you to stay engaged in the course content throughout the week. So you need to make sure you're posting substantive posts throughout the week on at least 3 days, and that will earn you your 20 participation points for the week. If you don't have 3 days on which you did that, then your points will be deducted from the highest point value that you can get, which is 20. What is a substantive post? It needs to be something more than, I agree with so-and-so, or I think what you said was great, Lisa. That was a great answer. You need to say a little more something substantive, which is the reason for that word. And make sure that you remember that substantive posts do not double dip with DQ posts. So for example, and I'm just going to use Daniel as an example because his is here and because he earned 5 points out of 5. I hope, Daniel, that I'm not embarrassing you by calling you out that you got all your points for your DQ number 1. Daniel posted this DQ number 1 on the 30th of August. He can't count that post as a substantive post because it's already been graded as a DQ number 1. So you need to have 3 of these little guys, 3 substantive posts. You need to have those trophies on 3 separate days, and they can't include, or your DQ number 1 is not included in those. So I hope that helps answer some questions and to remind you that you need to make sure you get your DQ number 1 posted by midnight tonight. Take care. Bye-bye.